All right, friends. Let's see if this is working. It's been giving me a tiny bit of trouble. All right, looks like it's working to me. All right, hey friends, welcome back to Daily Sews and Stuff. I am doing a live this way for the first time, and it's only like my second or third live, and it is a whole other ball of wax. So it should work that if you leave comments, it'll show up in this other program that I'm using. It's the program I use to record my computer screen. It's called OBS. Open Broadcasting Software, I think. It's free. I use it to record my screen anytime I do, computer tutorial type things. And it can also stream to YouTube. And so that's what I'm trying out today. And I also just thought it would be fun. I've been kind of slow with getting videos out lately. Life keeps happening. But I thought it would be fun to just kind of talk about some things that I've been sewing and some stuff that I've been doing and kind of look ahead to what's coming. So, yeah. If you're here for the... Hold on, I'm going to move my mic. I need to get an extension USB cord for that. If you are here for the Affinity thing, then I will get to that in a minute. I'm going to show you what I've been working on. But yeah, I'm going to start kind of way back. So there's lots of links in the description box to all the different things that I'm going to talk about right now. So I'm just going to start talking, and hopefully some people will come and ask some questions and talk back with me. But if not, I'll just stand here talking to myself. That's how I do all my other videos. So here's some things I've sewn this month, in the past month or so. Hold on, it's mirrored. This little mermaid is called Shelly, which is such a cute name for a mermaid. And it comes from Rag Rascal, and that is a brand new pattern designer out of the UK, and her name is Louise, and I kind of plugged her a little bit in my last video, but I wanted to show the doll. I just think it was such a good pattern idea, and it was very well executed, especially for the projector pattern. She's actually kind of go back and do a little bit of a rethink and help with the shoulders a little bit, but I love the idea, and I love how much thought she put into her projector pattern, and I know when this fully releases, it's going to be amazing. She's already had a little bit of repair on her tail, because this belongs to my 4-year-old. But it's fun. You use felt for the head and hair, and she gives you small pattern pieces as a printout that just prints out on 1 or 2 letter size pages. And then the rest can be on your projector, which is really handy when you are cutting these really tiny pieces, because some of these are difficult to get, these curves. Oops, she's gained a sticker. These curves are difficult to get sometimes with a rotary cutter. So what I did is I printed it out on freezer paper that I bought from Leah Day a long time ago, or else might have bought on Amazon. But it's freezer paper that is 8.5 by 11. It's letter size freezer paper. You put it in your printer and you print on the paper side, and then the shiny side you can iron to your fabric, and it's just enough sticky that it sticks, and you can use the pattern like that. But it's not so sticky that you are, ruining your fabric or whatever else. Like, it just sticks just enough. And even like on the felt, it didn't take off all the little fuzzies or anything. So really, really handy. So I cut out all the little face pieces and hair pieces with that. And then I cut the rest with my projector. I scrunched her bodice and added this detail of the flowers. That's just a trim I had. And it was designed to be used with scraps. Because most of these are pretty small pieces. I had to go buy felt because I didn't have any, and I saw this tail fabric and I couldn't resist. So that's not scraps on mine, but it's super cute, super fun. So this one has blonde hair, and then I did one with brown hair and a purple bodice for my middle daughter, which my youngest has hair a little bit lighter than mine, and my oldest has hair a little bit darker than mine. Not my oldest. My oldest has hair much more darker than mine. My middle has hair a little bit darker than mine. And the youngest, her color is blue, her favorite color. Is kind of this teal blue here. And the middle really loves purple. So it worked out beautifully. So go check that out. Right now, Louise has out the Alice pattern, which somewhere in my pile of things, I've cut out a little bit of the pieces that I need to make some Alice dolls for all three of my kids is my plan. And then I started cutting out and just got sidetracked because that's the way sewing always seems to happen. But those are out and available for purchase. It's $8. And then, or maybe it's 8 pounds, which comes out to a little bit more in American dollars. I can't remember. Anyway, and then you can get the Shelly for free in a few months when she decides to release that. So that is a little sneak peek for that. That wasn't even the intended sneak peek. You may not step any further into this room. What do you need? Quickly. You're not supposed to be interrupting me. Thank you. Okay, so other things that I've been working on this month. This was a really quick, simple thing I did for my youngest daughter. Again, she loves this kind of teal color. And it looks kind of like a pea pod, right? It's actually what my friend called it when we were describing what I was going to do. It's just a stretchy Lycra with some faux fold-over elastic around this hole. And it's designed for her to kind of get here. I'll use Shelly. It's designed for her to get in and be just kind of a sensory feedback kind of a thing, which she really likes. She just really likes that sensory feedback of that hug kind of feeling. So I've been letting her use it, especially during school, and she really likes it. And it was super simple. So I actually have more of her color, which I plan to probably make her a shirt or something. Maybe some, probably a shirt or something. And then I have some in this hot pink for my middle daughter. Her favorite is purple, but she really likes pink and all the girly colors. And then this lime green, which is much brighter in person than it's looking on my screen at least, for my son. He really likes those colors. All of those came from Serge Fabric Shop, and they are just this really soft bamboo Lycra that feels really nice just to touch too. There's an affiliate link to Serge in the description. Now, I'm also going to plug Serge. I bought these, I bought the fabric for these pants from Serge. It's a supplex from them. And I think it was at end of the bolt, so I'm not sure. Oh, there's my sweatshirt. That's from last year. I'm not sure if they still have it. And I don't know how far away I have to get. But these pants, I've been wearing them all day, and they're still staying up, which is nice. They are a black supplex from Serge Fabric and the Vienna jeggings from Sinclair Patterns. Now, I am 4'11". I always have to adjust patterns for height. This one was really cool because they have petite, regular, and tall. And so I made the petite version. And I did have to adjust the rise a little bit, but I didn't have to adjust the legs at all. And even the rise, it didn't have to be adjusted a lot. Okay, so I want to show you the pictures that my husband took whenever I, was doing the tester pictures for them. So, I'm going to transition you guys to be able to see my screen, I think. Okay, hopefully that worked. Okay, so here's a fit picture, and you can see they fit really well. They have these back pockets and this back yoke right there, and then the waistbands. And then, can we see the next picture? No, we don't want to zoom in. We want to see the next one. No? Okay. We'll do these individually then. Here's just from the front. They fit very well. Here, I'll give the back fit pic, and then we'll look at the rest of that. So you can see better the yoke here. I did end up taking out a little bit here, which is why that dips a little bit funny, because the back of me is smaller than the front of me there. But the pockets are really nice. It's a really nice detail. The one quibble I had with this pattern was that you need to mirror the pocket markings, and on a projector that doesn't have a mirror function, that's a little bit frustrating to do. And then here are the fit, ooh, sorry for hitting the microphone. Here are the fit pictures with my incredible farmer's tan. This is the Knoxville top by Pattern Niche. I have a Pattern Niche affiliate link in the description box. And yeah, I just felt like they are really nice. They fit the Vienna jeggings fit a really nice hole in my wardrobe. They're just as easy to sew as leggings are, but they are a little bit more structured, a little bit thicker fabric. They just really don't look like leggings. I would wear these in a more professional environment than I would leggings. But yet they were super quick to sew and super easy to fit, and I didn't have to fuss with it the same way I do, and I'm going to use some quotation marks here, real pants. If you've seen any of my videos where my bottom half shows, then you know that I kind of prefer leggings just because I can sew them myself, and I like sewing them myself, but real pants are a little bit harder to do. So that's usually where I end up. All right, now I want to show you guys. Well, let's keep talking about this. So the top that I was wearing there is the Knoxville top by Pattern Niche. I also am currently wearing a sweatshirt that I made last year. It's also a Pattern Niche pattern. I know that the cuffs, which I really love, I just put this sparkly glitter fabric here, which I'm pretty sure is from Eden L, or it might be from Notorious, but it's, one of those custom print fabric places. I just think it's fun, this little pop of sparkly in my hand here. I really love Gilmore Girls, and there's this episode where Luke is drunk and falls and cuts his hand, and he falls and then he cuts his hand, not in the same incident, and Lorelai gives him a Band-Aid to help with the bleeding and stuff, and it's a Barbie Band-Aid, and Luke says, got a handful of Barbie, and that's what I feel like, got a handful of sparkle. Anyway, I really love this cuff design. The cuff design comes from the Kenai, I don't know if it's called pullover or hoodie or sweatshirt, something like that. Kenai something with Pattern Niche. It's Kenai. But that's a cross front, which actually I wore this morning, one that I made last year too. But this is either a Riviera raglan or a Tammy. And I honestly don't know if there's a lot of difference in them when you don't do a lot of the extra features of either of them. But it's just a single hood. I love this little detail here with this little tiny piece of leather that keeps the grommets from pulling out. And I just have some plain black cord. And I cut on my cricket, the Sassenach, and the dragonfly, which was just something I found online. And this fabric is also from Serge. It is a baby French terry, and it is so soft, and it's really, really thin, which all of you people up north are going, what? Why do you have a sweatshirt that's really, really thin? Because I live in Texas. And we are super excited that this week it's not supposed to get above 85 at the middle towards the end of October. We woke up Saturday and it was actually cool outside, and it was so exciting. My kids were like, oh, I have to put on shoes, it's cold. So yeah, we are thrilled with it being just a little bit cooler, and I want to be able to wear a little bit more fall clothing, but I don't want to get too hot. So I really love this thin French terry for that. It would also make some really cute joggers, like for summer wear or whatever. But yeah, so I made this last year, and I was really, really excited. It was finally cool enough to wear again. And like I said before, I'm 4'11", and I know that I did not shorten this at all. And in fact, I may have cut longer just because I wanted kind of a big, comfy, oversized sweatshirt. Okay, I think that's all of my Serge plugs. It's not all of my pattern niche plugs though. Those are coming. So another thing that I made recently was a bell dress for my youngest and an Aurora dress for my middle. And I made those with, Sew a Little Seam has kind of a princessy pattern, Sew Upon a Time. And you get to put kind of your own spin on it to make it look like a princess if you want to. And so that was really fun to do and really fun to create, and they loved them and they wore them for their birthday. And my son wanted to dress up too, but obviously he didn't want to be a princess. So I used Sinclair's Runberry joggers because they have these little spikes that you can put down the calf, the side seam of the calf. And so I did that with also some baby French terry from Serge in kind of a charcoal mottled gray and then a lime green mottled color. And then for the top, I used, I'm going to say Alcento, maybe it's Alcento. It's Alcento patterns. And I forget the name of the actual hoodie, but it's like a dragon or a dinosaur. And it's got spikes that go from the hood all the way down to the bottom, kind of goes to a U shape, and you can go all the way down kind of past the child's bottom with these spikes. And they've got wings you can put here. And I did all the things, and he loves it. And the plan was for him to wear that for Halloween as well, and now he's asking for something different. So we'll see what Mama feels like doing the next couple of months. Or no, next couple of weeks. But I also have some other things planned. So now I'm going to plug PhD Tour. And this is not an affiliate link, but it is in the description box. I did a little retail shopping from them, and I got this. So let me back up. PhD Tour is run by Allie. She is super awesome. She prints fabric and has it shipped to her and then shipped to you. And you can choose from lots of fabric that she has, or you can send in your own to be printed. And I did both. So these are retail. I bought 2 yards of this. But they came in separate pieces because it was in the bolt kind of thing. I kind of have a plan to make maybe a dress out of this, maybe for next 4th of July. But I just really liked it, so I bought it. The white, this much white scares me, but it's really soft and really pretty. And this red is a little bit prettier in real life than it's showing on that screen right now. So it is very, very, very soft. This bamboo lycra, I think, is softer than this I have over here from Serge. And it is very well printed. It doesn't it does white out a little bit because it's going to, but not terribly bad. I also bought some black athletic wicking jersey. I have two thoughts here. One is that I might make some shorts for my son, or maybe even some joggers out of it. But then my other thought was on some leggings for myself. I might use this in, you know how the Patterns for Pirates has in the peg leg add-ons, there's kind of a stripe down the side of your leg. And I thought it might be fun to put in that. Or they also have the version that I haven't made yet and I've been wanting to make, that has kind of the heart shape on the booty, and it has around the thigh a place for like a contrast insert. So I thought that would be fun there too. I don't know what I'll end up doing with that, but I bought it. And then I bought some ribbing in this blue burlap and some cotton lycra in the blue and green burlap to go with this striped cotton lycra. And then, hold on, I think I missed it over here somewhere. Somewhere there's a panel that I've lost in my pile of things. There's a panel with a dinosaur on it, which my son loves dinosaurs right now. So that was super fun. But the most exciting thing that I got from PhD Tour, she helped me design it, sort of. I mean, like you'll recognize the part that I did. And we laid it out and we got it printed. And now I'm going to make myself a shirt. Da-da-da-da. Hold on, everything's backwards. This way, there we go. A Daily Sews and Stuff shirt. I'm really excited, guys. So what I've been working on, pattern-wise, is the pattern that I'm going to use to make this shirt. So I got 2 panels of the circle button logo, and then a yard of this button. It's just the button, and I think that'll be really cute for the sleeves, and then a yard of just this charcoal, the background color, that is going to be for the back, and probably also for like bands and stuff, because I'm going to make a raglan. I really love raglans on my body. So that's what I've been using Affinity for, the Riviera raglan by Pattern Niche. That's what I'm going to use to make this Daily Sews and Stuff shirt, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to show you Affinity in a second, but let me tell you about this first. The other day, my husband came in and gifted me his GoPro. He doesn't want to use it anymore. He got fancy other equipment that he's going to use to film, and he gave me his GoPro. So this is the little GoPro, which is cool. A lot of people use them for making YouTube. They use them for, there's a lot of different uses for these guys in the filming world. And usually what I use is my iPad and or my iPhone, which is not a new one. And that pretty vinyl design on the back, which if I do again, I would do a Daily Sews and Stuff one, is literally holding my phone together after dropping it on gravel. So when I get a new phone, yeah, that'll really be cool for filming. But anyway, he gave me the GoPro. And I bought this little guy and this little clamp guy. There's a link for this in the description too if you want one for yourself. Because my thought is I'm going to use it for the overhead shots whenever I do projector stuff. So right now, at the very top, which you can't see, hold on, I can take this off. At the very top up there is that basic niche mount and the turbo projector that is going to be given away probably in January, pretty soon, when I get done with it, pretty much. And so that's kind of in the way right now, but once that goes away, I'll have a lot more space to work with. And I really want something that will show my mat really well, because one of my next videos that I'm planning to do is going to be a comparison between, let's see, which way? That ultra short throw, that short throw, and that Amazon projector up there. And what good is a comparison video if you guys can't see what I'm looking at on the mat? So the next one, the next big video. So all of these setup videos are a lot, guys. They end up being very long videos, which means a lot of time filming. It means a lot of time editing. It's a lot. And I try to make them really information packed, which means I really have to do my research and, you know, all that before I make them. So that's kind of why this video is kind of interspersed in the middle. And I have another video in Affinity Designer that I'm fixing to show you guys a little bit of that'll kind of come in the middle too. Because it's kind of exhausting to make those really big, huge videos. And I love that you guys love them. And I want to keep doing those really intensive videos. But I can't just crank them out all the time. They got to go a little bit slower. So when I get to that comparison video, so the short throw projector video is my next huge video that I'm going to do. And that looks like it's mounted, but it is not possible to calibrate it the way it's mounted now. So we're going to remount it, hopefully get a good solution for that and make that work. And then I'm going to do a comparison video of all three of them. And I'm hoping that this guy will be super helpful for that. And my thought is that I can clamp it. Here, let me show you. My thought is I can clamp it up there, and then you guys will be able to see the mat down there. Okay. That's my hope. Ooh, let's try that again. Okay. That's my hope. That's my plan. So the mount just came, and I just connected it all and started kind of fussing with it, and I'll probably need to fuss with it a little bit more. But it will also be fun for the Affinity video that I'm working on. Because, again, in that video, I would love you guys to see what I'm looking at. Now, in the first craft room, I had a phone mount that was just suction cupped to my ceiling. My ceiling was smooth drywall. It stuck. It was great. Stayed the whole time we were there. Didn't have any problems with it. And used that to hold my phone and film. Some issues with that. If your phone suddenly stops recording because you've run out of battery or run out of space or somebody called you or whatever, you don't know, especially if you have it on Do Not Disturb, which I do because I don't want the video interrupted by other stuff. So that caused problems more than once when I thought I was recording and I wasn't. And then I also, when we moved to the rental house, it didn't stick well to the popcorn ceiling, and in fact kind of pulled off some of the popcorn, which was not good. I felt terrible about that. And I guess that sort of weakened the stickiness of it because it's game over now. It's not working at all anymore. This ceiling is smooth. It's painted wood. I don't know if you guys saw. I can tilt you up again. It's smooth painted wood, so theoretically it should also work the way it did in the first craft room, but it does not. So really, really hoping the GoPro is the right choice for kind of the next stage of making this work. All right. So I think that only leaves us with this little sneak peek of what I've been working on. So I am 4'11". Have I said that like 14 times in this video already? I don't know. It suddenly feels more important than usual. And I want to make this Daily Sews and Stuff shirt, and I want it to be a raglan, and I want it to fit me well. And so I have several of these Riviera raglan shirts, and there's two that I wear all the time. And one is made of cotton lycra, and it was a specialty print from Eden, and it's too long, and just a little bit too tight. Then I also have one from fabric that I got from Surge Fabric Shop. That really is my favorite online fabric store. That is more of a t-shirt material. It's a tri-blend. It's a little bit less stretchy than cotton lycra. And while it's also just as long, the way that flows fits a little different and works a little better. So I just wanted to make sure that I appropriately shortened the pattern for the cotton lycra that I specially printed with Daily Sews and Stuff, and that I appropriately graded out some in the front for me, just so it wasn't quite so tight on the Daily Sews and Stuff. Especially, I don't want the logo to be like all whited out because it's stretched tight or anything. So this is what I did. Let's see how fancy I can be here. I'm gonna do that and that. So the first thing I did was I ran the Riviera raglan pattern through PDF Stitcher. And that way I took out all the sizes I didn't need, and it comes in 2 AO pages, and so I got that all stitched together. And that was awesome. This would make I also added some margin too. This would make a decent projector file. Wouldn't be amazing, but it'd be pretty good. Most of the grain lines are going the same direction for the smaller pieces, and then the larger pieces are going the opposite direction. But they, I wasn't using all these extra pieces. This pattern comes with a ton of options, and I wasn't using all these extra ones. I just needed front, back, sleeves, and neckband. So the next thing I did was delete all of the pieces I didn't need. So I first you have to ungroup everything. Actually, let's do that first. Nope, you need to cooperate with me. Control-Shift-G ungroups everything. Come on. And then that top one too. So then I was able to just start deleting things that I didn't need. Once we finally hit that Control-Shift-G enough to get everything undone. So I just started deleting the stuff I didn't need. I did need an armband because I wasn't doing a sleeveless. So deleted all of the armband piece. And, oh, come on. This is easier the first time around, I feel like. So deleted all of that, and ooh, come on. So like those were all those pieces I didn't need. I didn't need any of these Henley pieces because I wasn't doing a Henley, and so I didn't need the hood. I wasn't doing a hood. So it was really nice just to delete all the pieces I didn't need. And then going into the actual like front bodice here, I wanted to do the kind of tunic length hem shape, but I didn't want it super, super long on me. So I took out some height there, and then I took off the handkerchief hem. I didn't really, that takes up a lot of space and I wasn't using it. There's lots of different options for this shirt, so I cleaned it all up, and I ended up with this, and it was the neck band, which I unfolded, the shirt sleeve, the shirt I think that's the front and back. And I left those on the fold. Now, there are a lot of people who really don't like cutting on the folds. And they pitch a fit about it, and they want every single pattern designer ever to make every single thing ever unfolded. And I get it. Especially when it goes to cutting that front panel. I'm going to want to make sure that I get it nicely lined up. But if I cut that front flat, I'm going to have to shift my fabric to make it all fit. The front shirt, the front bodice is not going to fit completely on my mat if it's unfolded. And I don't want to fuss with that. I would rather cut it folded than, and not have to fabric shift, than be able to see everything perfectly. Now, I may come to regret that whenever I actually do it. I may totally screw up my placement of my logo and cry about it and, you know, cut it down to make a shirt for a kid and come unfold this for the other one. Totally possible. But I think I'm going to be happy with this because I'm not going to want to fabric shift. And I think that leaves more room for error than folding. But that is 100% a personal preference. If I wanted to unfold that front, I could do that right now just by copying and mirroring it the same way I did the armband down here, or the neckband down here. And the neckband I went ahead and unfolded just because I usually find just a scrap for it, and so it'll be easier to find a scrap when it's just all in one piece. But the rest of these I'm going to cut on a fold because, you know, that way I get mirrored sleeves and everything else. And then this box right here that says 16 by 20, if you look in this corner over here, it is 16 by 24, or by 24, which is awesome because that means when I go to project this pattern, I can just check that box right there. And then once I'm done, I can uncheck the layer and not have to look at it anymore. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about how that's going to work whenever I go to project it. And again, that's why I wanted to get that new mount so that you guys could see. So perhaps burying the lead a little bit here if you don't already know, but one of the reasons I felt okay about spending some more money on this channel is that it's finally monetized. Thank you guys so much. So much. This is so exciting. I make like $1 a day, so it's not a lot. In fact, I think I've just now made enough to cover that mount. YouTube isn't going to pay me until it's grown to be a bigger amount where they pay in a big old lump sum, but it's there and it's really exciting. I am just super thrilled, and so the more you watch now, the more it ends up, you know, paying me for the ads that run on this channel and stuff. So yeah, that's really fun. The other money that I spent recently was more for the podcast, but it worked for the channel too, is this microphone. It came with a pop screen. Which goes in front of the mic so it doesn't it catches the wind, I guess, whenever you really, I forget what those are called, but the consonants that have that really airy, breathy sound, the with the P's. So it blocks that air so it doesn't, you know, sound so yucky on the mic. But this is kind of a pain on my sewing table. I feel like, you know, the mic I can fold out of the way, but this was always just in the way. And so I bought a pack of 5 for like $5 of these that are more made for like if you're going outside and there's wind coming from all directions. It deadens the sound in a different way, and theoretically it's not as good of a sound. And if I was like singing or something, maybe y'all could tell. But I don't think y'all are going to be able to tell at all, and it's going to help me function better 90% of the time. But yeah, so part of it was for the podcast, though. This microphone I use for the podcast and for when I'm recording voiceovers, or I'm recording something like this, or I'm recording like when I was working in Affinity Designer just now. And it's a nice microphone to have. I know it came from Amazon. I know it was not terribly expensive, but it works just fine for what it is. But yeah, so the podcast is sort of back on. We recorded one episode for season 2, and that is uploaded. You can go catch it now on the Small Business Sewing podcast here on YouTube, or on Anchor FM, or in several other places. I think you can even do it on Facebook, at the Small Business Sewing podcast page. So we recorded that episode that was basically like, sorry guys, we really intended to record a season 2, but life has happened, and so here's one little episode full of some fun and advice, and we'll catch some more later. And so it's my turn to edit this season, and I edited it, and we got it out, and we will do more as we are able. But Cathleen is moving, and you guys know that I moved, and it's just been a lot for both of us. So we are living on a prayer, the both of us, and having fun. And, we really love doing the podcast. It's an awesome outlet for both of us. We get to talk to other grown-ups about sewing stuff, and it's fun. But it's also work to get it edited and get it out, and work to find time that we can both talk. She lives in Hawaii. I live in Texas. She works full-time and has 2 kids. I stay at home, but I homeschool, and I have 3 kids, and my kids are old enough that a couple of them have some activities in the afternoon, and I volunteer somewhere one day a week, and it just, we moved to town and our life got busy. I think that's what it feels like happened. So, anyway. You guys can go check out the podcast, and there will be more episodes eventually. That's kind of what it boils down to. Okay. I think I have talked about everything I intended to talk about. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Affinity Designer for the next few minutes. And if anybody has questions or comments, I would love to hear them or see them. And actually, I'm going to go check and see. No, it is showing me. Okay. Oh, that's weird because I can see myself. Okay. I'm going to show you a little bit more in Affinity Designer for a few more minutes here, and then I'm going to totally wrap this up. So let me make sure that's open, and I'm going to transition over there. So the reason I've been using Affinity Designer to figure this out rather than Inkscape. Inkscape is free, which is awesome. I love a good deal. But Inkscape is clunky. Very clunky. Very, very clunky. And very difficult to use. And I was just not a fan at all of using it. So I first got the free trial. Well, okay, so it started out that I bought the $10 version for my iPad. It was $20, but it was on sale for $10 because eventually I want to do some wireless videos, and that was the way to do that. So, that's the line I want. So, in order to have a program where I could type, Zoom, and stuff like that, I went ahead and got the $10 version for my iPad. Well, then I was like, this is cool. The version for the computer is only $25. And this is a lot easier to use than the free version of Vectornator that I had on my iPad, which is not bad. It's just the Affinity Designer was that much easier to use. And I was hoping it would hold the same for the free version of Inkscape versus the paid version of Affinity Designer. And I was right. It did. It works so much better. I really enjoy figuring things out. And the nice thing is when I really do need to figure something out, I can just go on YouTube. And I went on YouTube and there was like an hour-long video learning how to use Affinity Designer. And I watched maybe 15 minutes of it and went, okay, I think I just learned everything I need to know to use Affinity Designer. So one of the things I learned from that video is using this node tool. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to click on this node right here. And when I do that, I can tell it to break the curve. And then when I go over here, I can do the same thing and tell it to break the curve. And now, when I go back to my arrow key, I can delete this line that I don't need without deleting the whole thing. And then, if I want to go ahead and attach it to the bottom here, because in a minute I'm going to shift all of it up, I can go back to the node tool, and I can use the shift key to select both. And then right here, I can highlight right there and tell it to join the curves. And then over here, I can do the same thing. And this time I can tell it to close the curve. And now it is one giant piece that can be moved together as a whole. Okay, so when I moved that giant piece, you saw these lines, right? Okay. I don't want this tall line. I want this short line. And I don't actually want, oops, here, all of you little pieces of information there are not necessary. I don't want that line. I can take that line out. All right, so I'm going to have this, actually, I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure that is the line I need because that's the hoodie line, that's the crew neck line. It doesn't matter. This is just me showing you what I did earlier. So I can do the same thing, right? I can use that node tool. I can break the curve so that I can kind of pull this down. Oops, undo. Oh, undo. Let's try again. I can break the curve to be able to access the parts that I need to make this work. So that's fine. And then right here, I'm going to add a node now, right there. And then I'm going to break the curve at that node. And then over here, I'm going to, whoop, no, that's not right. What am I doing? Right there. I want that piece. There we go. And break that curve. And then I should be able to delete this piece I don't need. Yep, sure enough, I could. So I want to go ahead and put those back together. By the way, I'm not sure that I've done this exactly the way I did it in the video, so definitely you're going to want to watch that. I think I explained it much better in the other video. And I can join them back together right there. And then right there I can join them back together. And then over here, I'll just need to zoop this one down. Actually, can I just delete that? Oh, there we go. I was able to just delete that. All right. So then I just have the one piece that I need to cut. Now, is it absolutely necessary? No. Can I just follow the line that I need on the projector? Yes, absolutely. Up until now, that's exactly what I've been doing. Sometimes I'll kind of highlight it on Adobe, or I'll mark out what I don't need or whatever. But I really wanted to do the height adjustment on this. And in order to do the height adjustment, I needed to either shift my fabric 2 inches and sort of guess the curve, or I could, again, use this node tool to add a node right there and then break the curve, and add a node right there and break the curve. And then the bottom is separate from the top, and I can move it up. I I am totally eyeballing that. 2 inches. Yeah, that's about right. And then, you know, make sure that that stayed straight and kind of join that curve back together so that it looks like this piece. So that's what I did. Did you guys see any of that? I don't think y'all saw any of that. Sorry. I moved. I broke the curve so I could move that bottom piece up. Whoops. Okay. Hopefully it wasn't like that the whole time. Hopefully you guys saw what you were supposed to see earlier. Now I'm totally paranoid that I messed up the most important part of this life. Oh well. It is what it is. So, I have already recorded doing all the Affinity Designer work. I've got it all saved. In fact, I've got it on my computer saved right now, just as this one Adobe file, open in Adobe. Oh, good. Thank you. So I've got it open in Adobe, ready to cut, and I was waiting for the camera mount so that I could record the actual cutting process on the mat too. So that's in now, and that's kind of my plan is in the next few days, hopefully this next week, I'll go ahead and cut and get that shirt cut out and do the intro and the outro for that and edit it and get that video out in the next couple of weeks, and then really hardcore work on that short throw video because that has been kind of my nemesis. I love that short throw projector. It is what I first used and was so happy to use, and getting it to work in this house has been a mess because this door right there, when it gets closed, which it doesn't often anymore because I've kind of locked off my craft room from the rest of the family, but when that door gets closed, that wall kind of wobbles, and because the door, you have to slam it to close it. It's a very old door and a pier and beam house, and that's what happens. So anyway, it just was not working. So I bought a TV mount. It might clang loudly here. Okay. But it is in just thousands of pieces. Not in a broken way. They just didn't assemble any of it. And beyond that, we're going to have to build out from the wall a little bit to be able to get the projector the distance that it needs to be. So, that is certainly not a project I can do all on my own. I can put this mount together, I feel fairly confident, but the building it out from the wall, I can't do by myself, and I certainly can't do mounting it by myself because it is heavy, and it is above my head, and I have no upper body strength, and I have no desire to have upper body strength, so I am going to need my husband to help me get that situated, and finding time that both of us can focus on something without the kids, and he's not doing work and I'm not doing school with the kids. You know, it just, he's a morning person, I'm a night owl. It just, it doesn't work well. So we will make that happen soon though, and then I can do the comparison video, and then I can do the giveaway, and I'm really excited about that. So, yeah. Alright, it is 4 minutes until 10, and I had kind of blocked out 9 to 10 to do this. So, I think I'm ready to wrap everything up. Besides the very helpful comment that you guys did get to see what I meant to show you, as long as there's not any other questions or anything else, I'm going to close this thing up. Let me go My brother, who's the one who gave the helpful comment earlier, said to make Dad help me. That's actually a really good plan. I might do that. Maybe we'll send the kids out to their house with my brother and my mom, and then my dad and I can work on that. All right. Thanks, guys, for coming and joining my live. This was a really last-minute decision, but I just had so many things I wanted to show off and talk about, and I'm just really excited about how Affinity Designer was really working out for me, and I know there's been a lot of requests for a tutorial for that in the Projectors for Sewing group and everything, so my brother doesn't like that plan where we send the kids out to their house. Anyway, I just wanted to show off a lot of these patterns and fabrics, and I'm so excited about this Daily Sews and Stuff shirt that I have in the works now. So, alright guys, it was fun. My brother says that just my mom can watch the kids. Yes, you, sir, are known for your partying. My kids love my brother. They call him Bubba, and he changed my oil for me last Saturday while the girls were out there, and he said they were very helpful. All right, thanks guys for joining me, and I will be back soon with a not live Affinity Designer video that will really break down the process and how I got my pattern exactly how I wanted it for projecting. Thanks for all of your support. I am just blown away that this channel in 18 months has actually become something that makes very little money for me. So thank you guys.